Psalms 36:1, the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of God before his eyes. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of his mouth are in iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil.
And that's what Esau has been doing through his institution, his think tanks.
Yep.
He's been setting up the society norms in the social sense, so he can veer society how he wants. You know, and that's what brother, the book, The Learned Elders Desire.
Yeah.
That's what it tells. That's how it breaks it down.
Yeah.
I got something else. This I'm gonna jump to Psalms 37:12. It says, the wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth.
That's
because
laws
really,
and legislation.
Yeah.
Laws and legislation. Because when they came in with the Age of Enlightenment, they brought all these philosophers in, like Henry Havelock Ellis, Francis Galton, Charles Darwin, to bring all these ideologies to the forefront so they can start psychologically screwing people.
Yeah.
Free thinkers and all of that. That's when all of this come in. Now you got motherfuckers doing journals about sexual orientation or sexual preference and all of this stuff. But it beginning to heighten in certain communities, and then it spreads like wildfire, only to put you as a sheep to the slaughter, basically.
Yep. I'm reading again. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. Because when they get those presidents in the office, now they have all free rule to break in a so-called laws. Because even though now we know everybody in the Congress, they all evil, they wicked, but you got some Edomites who ain't, down with a lot of shit that they doing. Because behind the scenes, it's probably all type of commotions. Esau, he got control, but he ain't got just control over everything aspect. They got majority of the control, but Esau is getting all the his legislations put in by killing people, by murder, by they paying off people. See, Esau is doing things on a carnal level. Like a lot of people ain't just willingly doing it, So
using a lot of black.
Blackmailing people. So it's ways that Esau is actually running and doing it. But what it is Yahweh Shemel is allowing them to do certain these things just for their downfall. Okay, it says the Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his days is coming. See, so the Lord is setting him up to get so proud and to do all the wickedness that he's doing, just because the Lord knows he only got him for a particular time to reign.
He only got for a short time.
Right. So that's why with the brother, the article and how everything is collapsing, this is all a plan of Yahweh Shemel Shah, is really, when it says the wicked plot against the just, the Lord is letting that happen. He's letting that happen to Jake, to the 2/3. But within Jake getting messed up by this the presidency and what's going to happen, Esau is getting taken care of too. It says the wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy. Because when the boys are down to it, who's gonna get hit the worst? Jake gonna get hit the worst. Okay? And like like the brother said, to bring out the RFID chip, that's only really for Jake. Because we was only given the scriptures to tell us not to take the RFID chip. It says, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. And that comes in us, the men of the Lord, the prophets. Okay?
That's his trump card.
Yep. It says, their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their vows shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the richest of many wicked. I'm going to go back to this.
You like Lil Wayne now, Jay-Z and shit.
I got a precept after you.
Okay. It says, their sword shall enter into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. And that's talking about ultimately when the missiles come through. Okay? Because they made the missiles, we understand that the Smiths and all that, but all of that's going to be used against them in the end time. Go ahead.
Yeah, they fought against Yahweh Shah.
I go to 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 15. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So that's
And they know that's true. That's why Trump, when they first started these riots, they actually had him in Trump Tower in New York, and they barricaded and did a practice run on live TV. I don't know if anybody watched it. They did it live of locking him into Trump Tower and having a 10-block radius where no one in, no one out. And I said, damn, look, they know that these riots gonna happen, and they already practicing on no matter where he's at. If it kick, because he don't even get to know when it's finna happen. They just got a response order when it happened. So that's what keep everybody on edge. So I watched them do it live, and they had the helicopters, they had snipers on the roof, and they barricaded a 10-block radius with all kind of, basically like he was in Iraq. And I was like, damn, I wonder if the people like know why they actually doing this. Go ahead.
It's the
That was
battlefield.
cool. Yeah. America's a battlefield. So you got to prep for the battlefield.
For there shall be sedition among men. So
Right.
guess what? It's going to be a rebellious government, man. Everybody going to rebel against the government.
Yeah, the strongest survive.
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Yeah, look at the tension now. And look at the wealth gap. Going back to that. That's gonna spawn on tension. People already getting mad. People already showing that for really who they are.
Yeah, because a lot of these Edomites don't think they ain't watching you niggas riding around here in these $300,000. Talking about AB, Anderson Broner, and you rappers and shit. How y'all riding around, y'all got all this jewelry on, y'all got stacks of money y'all putting up to y'all ear, and they seeing y'all in their grocery stores. And just the average Jake, if you look at the average black Native American, they actually doing good in America.
Yeah.
They riding around in the brand newest year cars. They women got the best jewelry on. And these Edomites looking at y'all. And they like, these fucking niggas, man. And these fucking spicks.
They know ultimately they're part of the destruction. They're part of the, what they call the Illuminati and the memetics that they use on the people to get them to flow with society. So, of course, Esau's sitting there pissed off. Like,
right.
They using these piece of shit, niggas.
Niggas and giving them all this wealth. Forgetting the fact that
they useless eaters.
Majority of goddamn welfare recipients are white people. So that means a lot of poor white motherfuckers out here.
And then Shalaki, then that proves that the history repeats itself too, because back when our ancient forefathers in Egypt, did they grow in number? Did they get successful in Egypt?
Yeah, and the Egyptians got mad.
The Egyptians got mad. Guess what? Guess what?
Hey, I too long.
More mightier and greater than us.
More mighty and greater
Hold
than
this
us.
real quick.
Guess what?
What?
Israelites up in
It's doing it again.
doing it again up in here in America.
Because this Egypt began.
Right.
So everything got to repeat itself. It only makes sense.
Yeah, this super Egypt.
Right. So while the devil watching me, I'm watching the devil. While he plotting on me, I'm plotting on how I'm going to move on his ass.
Yep.
Neighbors and everybody. I already got a plan for all my neighbors that live around me. I know who to go hit, who not to hit, who going to be first in line, to who going to be last. Shit.
You want to play that some more, or was that?
Yeah, that was really good. Cause we could.
You want to replay it just to cap it back in there.
A cabinet of plutocrats. As Quartz reports, the 17 people he's chosen so far for cabinet-level positions have well over $9.5 billion in combined wealth, greater than that of the 43 million least wealthy American households combined, over 1/3 of the 126 million household total in the United States. This shouldn't surprise anyone, no matter how populist Trump sounds.
So the odds are 126 million to 9.8. What was it? 9.8 or 9.5 billion?
But you notice they don't even want to get a number of how many people they was talking about.
Yeah.
They just threw us a number and skipped the number of how many people that they talking about that's been chosen in this man cabinet, which he just started. Can't be over 15.
Right.
They left that out. That's the number for you. But you sure you have some more?
Oh,
Cause I got two.
they shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Right. So when Trump and these so-called governors and senators and shit try to come on and say, well, you guys need to stop and we need to bring law and order back to the street. A lot of these Edomites and a lot of these American, I'm gonna say American niggas, y'all all gonna be like, man, fuck y'all. We out here starving.
And the course of their action shall stand in their power. So, guess what? Every man for himself, survival for the fittest. And that's what's gonna happen, man. So, basically, I'm Jake ready, man. What's gonna come?
This Job 27. Well, I'm gonna do this one first. It's Job 19:10. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. So all, us being oppressed together in the ghettos and so forth, Esau, the Edomites, he got restitution coming. Because we ain't looking for no 40 acres and a mule. That's been done and over with. So you keep that and shit. You just be ready that your hands gonna restore in the next kingdom of heaven to come our shit back. That's all. Job, cause y'all say, man, y'all hate us. Yeah, okay, y'all gonna be the haters. Job 27:13. This is the portion of a wicked man with God. See that? So them two Edomites, from the super rich to a common man, this is their portion. This is their portion of the wicked man with God, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. And we see that, look how much money they worth. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. Why the widows ain't gonna weep? Because they gonna go off to fight these wars, and once we get the kingdom, they gonna love being with us anyway. Just like our women like being subservient to them now. Motherfucker got a job, boy, they dress up good. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep. Though he heap up silver as the dust, and prepare raiment as the clay, he may prepare it, but the just shall put it on, and the innocent shall divide the silver. And right, that's the 1/3. That's the elect. The elect men of Israel. We gonna divide that silver. We gonna put that shit on. So the elites, we glad. Trump, we on your side. That's why we wanted you to get in there. We needed that. That was a 2 thumbs up. Now come on, bring these race riots and shit. Because we know at the end of the, what's the conclusion of the whole matter? That you finna die. The rest of y'all going to slavery. And we gonna get to where that gold and that silver. And we gonna divide it amongst ourselves. Shit, after knowing that, how could you be mad?
I got James 5:1. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh."
And that's talking. The rest of them is the other nations, because the rest of them is the other nations, because that's who's gonna come down against you when everything is how you say it, said and done, accumulated, all the outcome of everything,
So it says, the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
See, all that lying and trickery that y'all been doing amongst the other nations, they gonna pay you back too.
With that fire.
And with the fire, which is the missiles.
And motherfucker putting you on Front Street right here. Live and in the flesh.
Yeah. And yeah, you even had the White Dragon Society talking about they know all the locations to the Rothschilds. It ain't nothing for them to basically jump down on them, because they is this it? Because the other nations they tired of America, I'm looking forward to talk about.
Verse 4, it says, "Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud, your fraudulent talisman dollar system.
Taxes before you get your goddamn money.
It says, "Crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth," which means the Lord of armies, or the Lord of hosts, which means armies.